Hello, everyone. My name's Jennifer Pertner. I'm here today to talk about Travefy. I have been doing this travel business for 3.5 years, and I started off at the beginning of when I started, I didn't want to pay money for anything. So I did the good old, Google Docs and Canva and all that stuff, and it was great to copy and paste. Then I decided once I was getting more customers, I needed to invest in something. So I did start with Travel Joy, and it was great at the time. But then I realized that Travefy had a lot more features. And so I switched over from Travel Joy to Travefy. I do know that Travel Joy has updated a lot of their stuff, and I know that they have a lot more, you know, things that I was looking for at the time that they didn't have. But now that I've switched over to Travefy, I've stuck with this. One of the reasons I switched is because they do give you the option to make a website. And I did do that, and I can show that to you guys as well. So I'm going to start off just with very, beginner stuff. Right here at the top, we have our contacts. If you have a list of contacts, you can upload, import contacts right here. It does tell you how to make a template file. So you would start by downloading this file, and then you can add your contacts to it. If you already have your contacts in like a spreadsheet like this, there is a way that you can just copy and paste, or well, drag the file into here. You just have to make sure that it's in this order. So it has to be last name, first name, email, phone, address, labels. If you don't have labels, you're not going to use the labels yet. You can always put labels in later. We'll talk about that, what labels are, but it does have to be in this format. Okay, so you want to have, if you have their birthdays, if you have their information, anniversaries, all this stuff, because if you put that stuff in ahead of time, it will automatically go into their file, which is great. Okay, so you can look here. Let's see if I can find. Under contacts, you're going to have contact information, right? Well, obviously, this birthday isn't right, but I do need to change it. So this is whatever they put in from their form. If you have, after you've already, let me go back. After you've already entered all your contacts, and then let's say you have a new inquiry, right? So you're going to have your customer fill out a new inquiry form, and I'm going to show that in just a minute. With Smart Form, it will add all this stuff into their contact information automatically, which is really nice. Or you can enter it all in separately. Okay, so let's talk about forms. And we'll come back to this in a minute. Okay, so under library is where you're going to find all your forms, right? So you can put in a credit card authorization form. Um, you can create your own. What I do is I took the one from the back office where we have, that's required by Archer Travel, and I made my own version of it, right? So let's see. Okay, I have a couple different ones. Um, I'll show you this is my generic one that I can send out to anyone, right? So I have the passenger's full name, and you can add questions to this, right? I'll show you that in just a minute. I have passenger's name, date of birth, if there's additional passengers, their mailing address, phone number, emergency contact. And if you go into to this form right here, if you make sure it's clicked on Smart Field, then when the customer fills out that form, it will automatically go into their information. And here you can add if you want the middle name, if you want a suffix, um, things like that. They can put that in. And then if it's a required question, yes, right? You want to make sure you get their name. Okay. And this is going under contact name. Okay. So that's what we have it under. That's for Smart Field. If you don't want it to go in there, you can choose a different kind of answer, right? So you can pick a short answer, you can pick a long answer, you can pick multiple choice, whatever, address, date. So wherever you want it to go, is where you're going to choose under this field. And I want it to be a smart field, and I want it to be go with their email, right? I want it to go, oh, no, maybe contact name. Okay, I want it to be their contact name. I think I changed that by mistake. Okay. So their name, you want it to be their name, right? Okay. And then address, phone number. Okay. Yep, contact name. All right, perfect. All right, and then if we look down further, so I stole some ideas from other travel agents because that's what we do, right? Don't reinvent the wheel. Um, and I got some of this different wordage from either ChatGPT or from other people in the marketplace, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is my just some of my verbiage on, CYA, right? You want to make sure that they acknowledge and they agree to the terms. Um, Insurance has been offered. So I only give them one option. Yes, insurance, travel insurance. I always make sure I have offered travel insurance, right? So yes, it's been offered, but they can accept it. I accept travel insurance, or yes, travel insurance has been offered, but I do not accept it. Okay, those are their two choices. And yes, they have to answer that, right? And then I do have a link to my tin leg right in here so that if they want to purchase travel insurance, they can click here and it'll take them to my tin leg my site for them to book travel insurance. And I have several people that have booked travel insurance through this link, and I never even, told them, oh, hey, book, make sure you get travel insurance through me or whatever. People have just gone on and done it because I have it right there for them, right? So that's convenient for them. Then we have the credit card information. I do let them know that it's PCI compliant. That's according to Travefy. They have a whole security team they make sure that the credit cards are safe. So here, if you put in card authorization, yes, it's required. Yes, you want the CVV. So you just go through and put in card authorization, right? For them to collect the insurance information. Then when you want to upload the photo of the credit card, you can go right here and say contact document upload. So when your customer gets this form, it's just going to say, take a picture of your credit card, right? So that's super simple. So that's right here, contact document upload. Okay, one of the choices underneath this drop down. Then here I have them upload a photo of their driver's license, right? The front of their driver's license, and it has to be the name on the credit card being used for the payment. So again, that's, a requirement from Archer. We have to have the picture of the driver's license, the picture of the credit card, and then the credit card information. So again, I just have that it's PCI compliant, so my customers know it's safe. It's not going to be, hacked or anything. And then again, you have contact document upload for that. All right, and then down here, this is again what's required by Archer that you have. I have my logo, I have Archer's logo, and then down here, this form is provided to you by an independent travel agent affiliate of Archer Travel, and then it has our license or Archer's license, right? So you have to have that on your credit card authorization form. So I have that as one of my just, you know, questions or whatever, right? And then here, again, I took this verbiage from someone else on Marketplace, and I'll run in and show you that after we're done here. You do require an electronic signature, and this is the verbiage that I got. And it's basically just saying you authorize them to use their credit card on their behalf, right? To reserve their card. And that, you know, I highly recommend getting travel insurance for so many different reasons. And then, yeah, so you can just, you know, it's just all my, whatever my authorization terms and conditions are, right? Whatever you want your terms and conditions to be, you can have those on there. Okay, so if we were to you can preview this and see then what it would look like, right? So first name, middle name, last name, suffix, if they have one, continue, date of birth. So yeah, you can just scroll through this so you can see what is it gonna, excuse me, what's it gonna look like for your customer. The other thing you can do is I created a fake person. Well, I didn't create a fake person. I actually put my husband's name in. I guess he's not a fake person, but I put my husband's name in and then I put my like personal email, so not my travel email, but my personal email as a contact. And every time I would do something like this, I would send the form to um, that person, my husband, which was my personal email. So then I would get it in my email and I would look through it and see what it would look like. So again, this is here, take a picture or upload. This is what the form is going to look like, right? And you can, like I said, send it to yourself, take pictures for your, you know, on your own, like pretend like you're the customer, see what they're going to go through, see if it is, you know, difficult, see if it is whatever. Okay, how they can do it. The other thing too, if the if your customer goes through, when they're finished, they will get a big green check mark and it'll say success. Your form was sent through. And sometimes I let my customers know that's how I know, that's how you know that I got your form, right? When you get that big green check mark. So that's kind of a good thing. Now here you can, up here at the top, you can see there's two headings. There's edit form, and that's what we were doing. We were going through and editing them, the questions. I should show you here. This is how you add a new question, right? So if you want to say add a new, you can say add a question, which is going to be just like name, you know, whatever question you want it to be. Here you can add text and an image only, or you can also add an embedded calendar. I have not done this, but I do think that you can put in like a Calendly. I personally use TidyCal, and I have not, like I said, I haven't put in a calendar. So that's something you could play around with if you wanted to. But that's how you add a new question. So back up here at the top, that was your editing, right? And then once your customers send you the form, it's gonna come over here to responses. And then here you can see like the people have responded. Now, when the people respond, you will have to go to this tab over here and assign it to a customer. So, oh, this is gonna show the credit card. Okay, so you're gonna then assign that form, right, to a customer. And it usually gives you an option, and it's the person that has the name at the top. It matches, so it's real easy. Or if that person is a new contact and you don't have them in your Travefy, you can add them into your contact. So it's pretty, quick and simple. You just have to say add a new contact, put their name in, and it'll automatically put them into your contacts with all their information. Okay, so that is the credit card authorization form. Um, you have lots of different forms that you can make, you can do depending on how you want to run your business, right? So, at first, I was doing an individual credit card authorization for every single person that I booked a trip with. That's another option that you can do. It's totally up to you. As I've gotten busier, I needed just a general authorization form that I needed to be able to just quick send to them, sort of like a payment link. And let me show you that. If you go to share this credit card authorization form, you have some options. You can email the form to a client. So if you click on email, then you're going to type in the person's name. And if I just type in EM, okay, so then some different customers pop up, right? And you just add one of those. If you want to, okay, I should probably go. Okay, then down here, you're going to you're going to put in a message, and you can just type in something like, hi, this is, Jennifer, whatever. Here's your credit card authorization form. Now, what I did is I saved a message that I could then find every single time I wanted to send this to a customer, and that saves me a lot of time. So what I did was um, I have a credit card authorization message. And when I click on that, it uploads this message automatically. And I just type in their name. And then it tells them what this form is. And again, I have my tin leg in there because I just always want them to have that ready. I mean, it's sort of like a way of me offering that travel insurance and, saying, here it is. If you're interested in it, you can purchase it. And then, thank you for allowing me to help with planning your trip and for your support of JPLE Travel. That's the name of my company. Okay, so, and then I just send that. I always have here, again, you can modify this, you can make it whatever you want it to be, but as described in the proposal is what mine is just set to, because that way they've already accepted the proposal from the trips, which we haven't talked about yet. All right, and then dun dun dun. All right, so that's if you send it through email. If you want to send this as a link, then you just click on this and a new little link pops up right here, and anyone can access your form using this link. Now, I'm going to show you something because I did not realize this for a long time. When you have this share from link down here, it says copy link. So it looks like you're going to copy this link to send it. But this link is not the correct link. This link is a link. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. I did this and it wasn't the right one. So what you have to do is you have to come down here and you have to make sure then that you click on this link, this link that's above here. This link is for you to share it to the library or something. Yeah. So um we don't have to do that right now. But anyway, so you want to make sure you click on that little arrow down here, this little caret right here, click down, and then there's your link to share into, you can put it wherever you need to put it, right? Okay, so that's how you can send them forms. There's lots of different ways to do that, different forms and stuff. Okay, so that's credit card authorization forms. Now let's talk about how did I make that message, right? How did I make that credit card message that I had set? If you go right here to new library items, you can see right here, you can make a form, you can make a task list, and you can make a message. So you just click on message, and then over here on the right-hand side, it pops up with a uh, screen for you to work on. You can title it. You can label it, which that's a little bit more, I might do labels in another training. That's a little bit more advanced, I feel, whatever. And then you can put your custom message here. Use as default message with sending itinerary. So if you click that, it will send them this message when you send them an itinerary, and I don't do that. So okay, so anyway, so that is how you make that set message, and whatever title you title it will show up over here. Let's just make like test. Hi, this is a test. Oh, okay, and then we'll say done, done. So then if we look over here in our library, it's right here. So you've made a new message. Okay. And then if you wanted to, let's go back to here again. If we wanted to send that authorization form again, we could go like this, share, email. And then right down here, saved message, I'm going to put in test. And there's my test message. And then there it goes right into the box. Hi, this is a test. The emergency broadcast system. No, just kidding. Okay, so, all right. That's a little bit about forms and messages. Um, okay, labels are nice because you can put them into certain order or certain sections, right? So you can kind of play around with labels over here. You can edit your labels. This is just how you add them, right? And then you can, if you have a label on the form, let's see, I have a label. Labels. Okay, so right here, I have it under forms, under labels, right? And I can add it to other labels, right? And let's see if I don't think I did test. Oh, I didn't, because I said I was going to talk about labels later, but then I got into it. So here you can make it a message. You're going to put it in message, right? And that's your label. And then we're going to say done. Now, if I go over here, message, here's all my messages. Okay. So you can make lots of different, these are all the messages that I have like made ahead of time. Yes, it takes a little bit of time. But once you have it set up, it's so much quicker, and you can just click, find the message, and then boom, send it. And you don't have to be thinking of a new message every single time, right? That you go into send an email or send a trip or whatever. Okay, let's go back to no message. All right, so then that just has all my messages, all my forms, all my everything that's in my library then, if I have no filter on. Does that make sense? Hope so. Hope so. Hope so. All right, I know this is a lot of information. Sometimes I talk fast, so feel free to add anything into the chat if you guys need to, or um okay, Tracy, I see that you said, where do I get the terms and conditions? So let's talk about that. Right under here, under Marketplace, you can click on Marketplace and you can search, I don't know, terms. Oh, wait, terms. Okay, we got terms and conditions, PDF, terms and conditions, page template. Here's another terms and conditions. This True Lux destination has a conditions, terms and conditions. So I don't know, let's just click on one of these. All right, it's coming in over here. Move all my little boxes away. Okay, so here it talks about travel protection insurance. Your trip is a significant investment. We highly recommend you purchase. Okay, and then yes or no. So this is one that they somebody made, right? Okay, Straightaway Travel made this. Um, so here is their idea for a form. And this is great. Terms and conditions, please read. It constitutes part of your contract for your trip. All right. So some people, yeah, send separate forms and they can do different, different things. They have to click, I understand terms and conditions. And then down here, it has a whole big section, right? And this is great. Like you could just copy this and put it in. Obviously, you want to change it. And that's what I did. I just went into Marketplace and I found, stuff in here. So theirs is very long, much longer than mine, but I might need to go back and add some of these in because I'm sure it's good information. And if, obviously you don't want to get burned, right? So Marketplace is great to find some of that stuff. So that was just one of them. Let's see if we go back. This one has a PDF. So again, you can open the file and let's see what it has. Okay, so this is Harpazo World Travel. Okay, so this is their information. ChatGPT is great also with some of this stuff, but like I said, this is very thorough. I love this. I might need to, steal some of this stuff and add it to your form. This also, I love this right here. This has where'd it go? This step is a great way for your customers to register themselves if they're traveling abroad, right? So I always recommend my customers to register themselves in this if they're traveling. That way, people know that you're traveling and not just your family, but like it's official, right? And then, okay, this TSA.gov is a very important website that you guys need to know about. I thought it was TSA. Okay, state.gov. Yeah, those are both important websites for travel agents because you can get a lot of information, flight information, information about visas, information about what forms your customers need to have to get into countries. It also talks about just everything they need to know if they're traveling abroad. Yeah, so this one is very, very thorough. I love that it's so thorough. That's another great option. So we can look back. My message chat. Okay. Terms, again, there were different ones. So you can, like I said, you can, go through these and look at them, right? Figure out which one works best for you, copy and paste um, into your stuff to make it work for you. Um, okay, so now let's talk about trips. This is where you're going to create your trips, right? So you're going to create a new trip. Let's see. I thought I had like a test trip. I don't know if I did. There it is, test trip. Okay, so if we were going to create a new trip, you just click right here on new trip. You can either choose itinerary or you can choose proposal. When I'm first starting a trip, I like to choose proposal because I'm going to send my customer like three options and they have to be proposals in order for you to send them those three options. So, oh, I clicked on it, didn't I? Okay, so this is going to be our new trip. And you can see when I click on new trip, it comes up. This looks very overwhelming at first, but it gets easier as you work on it. So think of this title right here as like a folder heading, right? Like this is going to be like your name for everything you're going to work on with this customer. So you might want to put it, you might want to put like their name, and or maybe it's like a family reunion. Let's say partners, family reunion. Okay, so that's going to be like the name of the of everything, right? Then down here, we have it. This is where your first option of a trip is going to go. So here you're going to type in, I don't know, um, whatever you want it to be, right? So this is still going to be Partners Family Reunion, but this is going to be flight and hotel, whatever, hotel option one or something, right? And then you can go in and edit it. All right. I'm gonna move this back over here because I got to work over here. All right. So then this is going to be our option one. We're going to edit. Oh, of course, now it goes back over here. Oh, goodness, I tell you, this is the story of my life. Move one thing. Okay. So up here, we can title this. And if you don't like that title, you can edit it from right up here. You can change the photo. So change the color photo, whatever you want it to be. Okay, I like that one. These are some of the saved ones. Oh, this is new because I do have some options in there, but I don't think I have any saved. So these just popped up maybe as random ones or ones that I've used before, but I need to save some of my pictures maybe that I like, whatever, right? You can also search. So let's say they're going to be going to San Francisco. You can search any city, and then this database will pull up all these different options, right? So you can choose, this one looks nice. You can choose, and then you just say save, and it puts that picture up here. What I've noticed is on my screen, it doesn't um, show you the full picture, but when it sends it to your customer, it shows them the full picture. So don't get thrown off by that. Yes, I'm going to show you how to attach 3 proposals in just a minute. All right, so you can change the photos. You can upload photos. You can go to a website, or you can also paste images um, from here. So I don't think I have any saved. Nope, I don't. I haven't worked on any today. But so you can, if you like, I like to screenshot on my computer and then you can put it in that way. And then it shows you a little picture over here of what it's going to look like. Okay, now let's just say you put in your different dates. You can add days, whatever, right here, and you can put in your dates. My cat is crying because he wants to come in my room. I'm not gonna let him. Nope, you don't get to come in. Sorry. I hear you. Okay, so let's just say we're going Monday, January 5th. Right here is how you're going to add in new things. You can add in lodging, you can add in flights, you can add in ground transportation, which would be like your rental cars, whatever. You can do cruise, tours, even if you have a booking. This is really nice. If you already have a booking through like Vax or through some of the different suppliers, you can take that booking and you can put it right into here, which is really nice. So let's just say a cruise. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways you can put in the cruise. You can enter it manually. I do not suggest that because that one is it's not going to give you as much information. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put in, let's see, I'm going to say, we said San Francisco. I'm going to go Princess because, oh, it might not be that date. Yeah, no results. Okay, so let's change the date. Let's see. They probably go out on a Saturday, maybe. I don't know. Saturday, let's do all those dates. Okay, here we go. We got some options. Okay, let's do this one, 9-day on the Crown Princess. Okay, so when you click on that, it's going to come up with all this information, which is really nice. It's going to give you accommodation, deck plans, dining, entertainment, health, fitness, whatever. So you say import. And then it's going to add it to your cruise. And then if you look here, it gives all this information, which is amazing. Expand. Okay, we gotta expand. So it's going to show you all this information about the cruise, decks, dining. You can play with this, right? Sometimes I like to take some of these off if it's like too overwhelming. Um, so you can, go through and have on there what if they're not going with teens and kids, then you can take that one off. And the way you do that is you just click here, you say delete. You can also edit. And when you edit, you can just take an individual part off. You can also edit the wording um, you can, and then there's different options. So you can go in and play with this. This is, whoop, where'd I go? Went way down here. Okay, done editing. All right. Okay, and then, okay, so here, let's see. It didn't bring in oh, this is interesting. So it actually doesn't embark until January 14th. So then you could take off all these days. I didn't realize that when I added it in. But anyway, so these are just some things that you can do. Now, when you do the cruises, if you book cruises, sometimes if there's nothing on that day, it'll come up like this, and you can add events. And that's when I would enter the cruise stuff manually. So I put cruise and then I say enter manually. And then I just put day at sea. And then I say done. And then that way on those blank days, it'll be a day at sea, right? So they'll see that that's a day at sea. Like right here, let me do that again. So on this January 21st, because then they get in on the 22nd. So this day is just a day at sea. So I'm going to say add events. I click on that day. I'm going to add a new event. I'm going to go to cruise and I'm going to enter the cruise manually because I don't want any of this information on there, right? And then it pops up with this screen where I can put anything I want. And so I just put day at sea. You can put whatever you want. You can add more information. You can, tell them things that are happening on the ship that day or whatever. So you can do whatever you want with that. Okay, so that's day at sea. Okay, so now we have this option. Let's go back to trips. I'm going to show you how to do um, three options. So right down here at the bottom, it says add a new. You're going to add a new proposal. And yeah, you can search in your library. If you have some already made, you can use those, but I'm going to create a new one. So then it pops up right here. It automatically puts whatever name you have here. But then you can change it. So I'm actually going to put cruise option 2. This one probably should have been cruise option 1. But then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go in, you're going to edit it, whatever, right? I'm not going to do all that because I'm just going to show you how to do the 3. Then down here at the bottom, you're going to say add a new one, add a new proposal, create, and title it whatever you want it to be, cruise option 3. All right, and then I'm going to go back to this one and I'm going to make it cruise option 1 because we ended up with cruises. You can do this with all-inclusive resorts. You can also do it with hotels. I'll show you where I did it with hotels and my customer chose their hotels. That's what this red dot is right here. They chose their hotel. Okay, so now we have 3 options, right? And I'm ready to send the 3 options to my customers. Okay, so you're going to go right down here to the bottom and it's going to say add new. I'm going to say add a new decision right here. Okay. Now notice how it says proposals, right? So that's why they have to be proposals. If your itinerary or whatever is not under proposal, you have to go back and change it. I can show you how to do that in a little bit. Okay, so here we're going to say cruise option 1, 2, 3. I want to include all of them. This And if you only have two, you can just do two, right? You don't have to have three, but you can do two or three. All right. And when I clicked go, it pulled them up. So right here, it's showing you sort of like an overview of all three options. Oh, did I not put an option two here? Okay, so I could edit that item if I wanted to from this screen. You can go back and you can edit it from the other screen. So here, it's going to show you your three options. You can add a little summary in for each one, San Francisco cruise. And then you can put in, this is a great option because whatever, right? Um, Whatever you want to put in. Okay. And then when you save that, it's going to show it up. It's going to show right here, right at the top. All right. Edit. You can edit the items. Okay. So there's your three choices. Now I'm going to show you how to send them. Right here, we're going to go continue. And then it says, did you know you can send forms with this decision? So this would be a great, um, you could send your terms and conditions. You can send all those different forms, right? I usually don't do that right away. I kind of get through some of this initial stuff first, and then I send them some of those forms later. But you could go ahead and send the credit card authorization form right away with it, once they choose. Okay, so I'm going to say continue to send. I'm going to put, there's my fake, my fake person. It's really my husband. But anyway, it's my personal email. You can carbon copy yourself so that you will get the decision also. And then under saved messages, I have a saved message under decision. I have one for cruises and I have one for trips. It's almost the same. Obviously, it's just, one's pertains to cruises and one's trips. So here I'm going to put, hi, Don. Whoop. Okay, so I have loved searching. And again, if you do, I use ChatGPT for some of this stuff. Once you have these messages saved, it does take a little bit of time at the beginning, but then it saves you so much time in the end, right? I have loved searching. Each one has a quick little summary. You're going to click on, I try to tell them like how to work through the summary because it's a lot of information. You're going to click on view details, find an abundance of information. You'll see all the ship information, cabin, food, activities, whatever, right? And then the itinerary with information about each port. Be sure to scroll all the way to the bottom. I always put my pricing information at the bottom of my proposals so that they kind of like see all the information first, get excited about the ship, get excited about the itinerary, and then I throw the price at them, right? So that's down at the bottom. So that they don't just look at the price and think, oh, this, whatever their initial reaction to the prices. I always want that to be at the bottom. And then after they've gone over it, I say, I would love to go over it with you. And I always make sure I say, this is just an initial step. We can keep making adjustments to fit your needs. And also make sure you add in all prices are subject to change until payment is made, because we know how that works. And then I say, I can't wait to see which option you choose. You and your family will cherish all the memories made. One thing I will say that I have found that has helped me a ton with getting bookings is to not say to them, are you ready to book? Do you want to book? Right? Those are yes and no questions. You're giving them an out. You're giving them a chance to say, no, I don't want this, whatever, right? I don't do that. I say, I can't wait to see which option you choose so that they basically know, okay, now it's my turn to choose one, right? You have to kind of guide them a little bit to tell them what they're supposed to do. So then, I can't wait to see which option you choose, and then they can choose one. So I just sent that. Let's go check it out. Here it is. Let's see if it's going to work. Like, oh, of course not. Doesn't work. Nope. All right, sorry, I have to go in a different way. We will find it though. Oh, my computer's low. Okay, here's my mail. He's just slow. All right, here's my partner family reunion. Here we go. So I open it up. You have new trip options. Your travel professional has sent you 3 options for your trip, partner family reunion. Here's 1, 2, 3, right? And here's my message. All right, so then they review options. All right, I think you can click on each. Oh, no. Okay, so if we click on review options, it pulls up. Here's what you saw, right, on your screen. View details, and then they can select the option. So that's what you're wanting them to do, is to select an option, right? All right, so that's that info for that. Let's go back to Travefy. All right, so back to trips. I did want to show you how I did it with a hotel, because that's a little bit different. If you just have a hotel, okay, before we do that, let's look at this real quick. There's lots of stuff in here. Trip activity. Nope. Somewhere under here, there is, sometimes it's hard for me to find it. Trip menu. Oh, now it's not, oh, here we go. Okay, if you click on each option, you can see right here, it says settings. This is important because this is where you can change it from proposal or itinerary, right? Once they choose the proposal, like if they pick a certain one, then Travefy automatically changes it to itinerary, or you can go in and you can change it to itinerary as well. So those are under settings. Okay, let me show you here where I did this one. So this couple is doing an anniversary cruise. They chose a princess cruise down to Martinique, Southern Caribbean with Martinique. And so here, down here, you can see that I gave them choices for their cruises. And then here's the hotel choices. Sorry, I'm trying to open this preview. Okay, so here were their, whoop. No. Okay, so here were their choices. I don't know why there's no picture. Maybe it just didn't refresh. My computer's gonna, no, it's not coming up. I did have pictures in there, but anyway, so yeah, so these were their 3 options. And then let's see, he chose one. And I haven't like done anything with it yet. I haven't. I got to send him his credit card information. So he selected one. All right, let's go back. Oh my goodness, these little things. Closing that one. That's better. Okay, so you can see that there's a choice. So response received, he chose one. So now let's see. The selection was this one. All right, so then I can take the other ones off of his itinerary. So they chose the Candlewood suite. Okay. So you can see here, this is how I added them to the proposal. I went in to the day that they're going to check in for their hotel, right? And I just added a new lodging. So here you can see I gave them the Holiday Inn Express, I gave them the Crown Plaza, and I gave them this Candlewood Suites. Okay, so I chose 3 different hotels, and I put all the information in, all the pricing. They were looking for, extended parking for the cruise, they wanted it to be self parking, not valet. So I made sure I had all that information in there. And then if we go back to their trip, I added, remember down here, you click add a new and you say decision. And then right here, if it's just hotels and you created them under an event, you're going to click on events. Then you have to choose which proposal was it in. This one was in their um, Enchanted Princess ship. This this was theirs. Now, you can see there's a lot of different information because all this information was in their under that itinerary where it told about the ship. But if you scroll down, you can see right here I have the three options for their hotels, and then you would just choose each of those options and then you create that decision, right? That's how we did it for the other one. And then it would pop up with the three options like it did with the three cruises. Okay, but I'm gonna cancel that out because he already made his choice. And then once you have chosen this, then that red dot will go away. Okay, there, it went away. So it knows that I've seen that they chose the Candlewood Suites, right? All right, so this was a lot of information I feel that I gave you guys today. I hope it wasn't too overwhelming, but I think I'm gonna stop there and just go back and see if there's any other questions that you guys have. I am doing another training next Wednesday at the same time, and I'm going to talk about automations because I love the automations and I love all the how much time it saves me. And again, it's a lot of preparation up front, but then once you have that prep done, it saves you so much time in the end, right? So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And then we'll take questions. All right. Thanks everybody for watching.